I am Will Scott. You're watching Boston Celtics Today by Chat Sports. We're going to break down the losing streak here in a second. Is it time for Celtics fans to panic? But first, a more positive note. It's National Cereal Day. I want to hear from y'all down in the comments section. What's your favorite cereal? Go down in the comments and let me know. Man, I mean, it's hard for me not to say Reese's peanut butter growing up, man. Or that was so good. The Reese's cereal and also Reese's Puffs, yes. And also the Captain Crunch peanut butter was really good. What's your favorite cereal, Producer Jack? Honey Nut Cheerios, says Producer Jack Lauder. Let me know down in the comments section what is your favorite cereal. Going back to the C's here, the Cavaliers defeating the Celtics in overtime, 118-114, handing the C's their third straight loss. Taking a look at the box score, Jaylen Brown, a good performance from him. He dropped 32. Derrick White with 12, 3 and 2. Malcolm Brogdon, Sixth Man of the Year, with 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Donovan Mitchell was a problem, 40 points, 11 rebounds. Evan Mobley was also a problem, 25 points, 17 rebounds, 10 of 14 from the field. And then Darius Garland, 17 points and 12 assists. So it was tied with under a second left in regulation. Grant Williams goes to the free throw line and misses 2 game-winning free throws. All he had to do was make 1 free throw, and he missed both. And Donovan Mitchell was in his face, talking before those free throws, and Grant said, I'm going to make them both. He missed them both. The Celtics went into overtime and lost in overtime. And after that loss, they have now lost 4 of their last 5 games. And this was a team that had the best record in the NBA going into the All-Star break. The best offense in the East. Looked like they were well on their way to hanging banner number 18. And I think a lot of people are panicking right now after these last couple of games, because you look at these games, they've blown leads. Now, the Knicks loss, the Knicks were in control most of that game, but they blew that big lead against the Brooklyn Nets. They blew that lead against the Knicks, losing in double overtime. And then they blew a lead last night in Cleveland, losing in overtime. So 2 overtime losses in a row, 3 losses in a row total, and the Celtics have lost 4 of their last 5. They're falling back a little bit behind the Bucks in the Eastern Conference standings. What is your panic level right now with the Boston Celtics? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. Scale it 1 to 10 down in the comments section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when an ad break comes, go down and chime in. What is your panic level right now with the Boston Celtics? Go down in the comments. Let me know. I'm at and I'm going to get into more of my thoughts about this in a second. I'm at a 3. I'm not too concerned right now about the Celtics. Jaylen Brown said this about the losing streak: we should be fighting to win. That's what it should be. In a rhythm or not in a rhythm, what matters is winning games. At this point of the season, I think that we are fighting to get in our own rhythms a little bit too much. And that's from the top to the bottom, like we should all be fighting to win. So Jaylen Brown saying the team needs more fight, and I think they're going to be fine. I really do. This is a rough stretch, right? Every great team goes through a rough stretch, right? And the Celtics right now are not playing their best basketball. I would rather that happen right now than in a 7-game series or, a potential series against the Bucks or whoever in the playoffs. So I would rather have this hiccup right now, and they have some time to recollect themselves, regroup before the playoffs. But I think the Celtics are going to get back on the right track really soon. I think this team is going to be fine. I am still a firm believer that this team is the best team in the NBA and that they are going to be hoisting the Larry O.B. in late June. I do believe this team can still win the NBA Finals, will win the NBA Finals. Yeah, this stretch hasn't been great, and they've lost to some top teams in the East, the Knicks, the Cavs, Knicks twice losing to the Knicks. But I do believe that Boston is going to be okay. We got St. Patrick's Day coming up, and this is a huge holiday, right? If you're a Celtics fan, you cannot be a Celtics fan and not have Celtics St. Patrick's Day gear. So we got some gear on sale right now. At chatsports.com/Celtics screen, we got a hat. We got some socks. I love this Jaylen Brown jersey. I'm going to a parade this weekend. I might wear this Jaylen Brown jersey. Chatsports.com/Celtics screen. If you're all about the C's and you like St. Patrick's Day, which who doesn't like St. Patrick's Day? Chatsports.com/Celtics screen. Go and pick up some gear right now. That link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Here's another reason I think the Celtics are going to be just fine. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule. Yeah, you have a road trip coming up, but they're against teams that are not very good. There's no excuse, none, to losing to the Portland Trail Blazers on March 8th. Dame could drop 60, and you should still win that game. The Blazers do not have anybody outside of Dame that I'm too concerned about. Then you have Atlanta. Yeah, that's a team that's in the top 8 right now in the East, but you're still a much better basketball team. Then you have Houston, the worst team in the NBA right now. Then you have Minnesota on the road, and then the Blazers on the road. So, yeah, you got that road trip coming up, but the Celtics should go 5-0 in their next 5 games. There's really no excuse to anything worse than 4-1. So the Celtics should get back on track here soon. Taking a look at the Eastern Conference standings, the Celtics, and this is wild because the Celtics were on top of this conference for pretty much the entire season up to this point, but now all of a sudden, they're 2 games back. The Bucks have won 17 of their last 18. So the Bucks are at 46-18, 2 games ahead of the C's. C's at 45-21, 2 games ahead of Philadelphia. So now you kind of have to worry about Philadelphia. Remember, the Bucks were kind of in the Celtics' rearview mirror for a couple months. Well, now you got Philadelphia just 2 games back of you for the 2 seed, and there's a huge difference between the 2 and 3 because the 2 seed would be able to host, have home court advantage for the conference semifinals. And then you have the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Nets. But those top 5 teams right now are all very dangerous. And then even, my goodness, right now you would have a Eastern Conference Finals rematch from last year with the Heat in the first round. And the Heat are not playing very good, so I wouldn't be too concerned there. But that's still a talented team in terms of their roster. You have the Nets in 6th and the Hawks in 8th. So this is a tough Eastern Conference. Whatever team you get in round 1 might be tough. And then definitely whatever team you get in the conference semifinals is going to be really tough. With the way the Knicks are playing right now, maybe it's a good thing the Celtics might be the 2 seed and not have to face up against them in the semifinals. We'll let Milwaukee deal with them. Be sure to subscribe. We're bringing you news, rumors, and more throughout the Celtics season. We're going to keep you posted on injury updates and everything you need to know about the Boston Celtics. So go and subscribe to the channel right now. I mentioned injury updates. We do have some news on Robert Williams III. Joe Mazzulla announced that Williams will be sidelined for the next 7 to 10 days with a strained left hamstring, and the Boston Globe is speculating that it might be even longer than the next week or two. Taking a look at what Williams has done this season, 8.4 points per game, 8.6 rebounds per game, 1.5 assists per game, and 1.2 blocks per game. He's just played in 28 games this season as he continues to deal with injuries. But the bottom line is the Celtics are just a much better basketball team with him on the floor. And you saw those numbers. The numbers don't tell the full story, in my opinion, with Robert Williams because of what he's able to bring to the table defensively. Now, taking a look at the Celtics roster right now, you did acquire Mike Muscala at the deadline, so that's going to help with some center depth. You also have Blake Griffin, who's not on the screen because he's not in the rotation, but you also have him as an option. You have Luke Cornett. So the Celtics, after the deadline at least, have some depth there, but still, you got to be concerned about Robert Williams going forward and his availability. The Celtics need him on the floor if they want to make a run in the postseason. He's very valuable, as we've seen the last couple of years. Now, are you concerned with Robert Williams? Type Y for yes or type N for no down in the comments section. Go down and let me know. I'm a little bit concerned, and I feel like if he continues to miss time, the Celtics might pursue a center in free agency. Now, we'll talk about a possible trade target here in a few days, but maybe a guy like Jakob Poeltl in free agency could make some sense. Of course, they went after Poeltl at the deadline, didn't get him. Toronto got him. But I would not be surprised if Robert Williams continues to miss time and the Celtics want to go in a different direction this offseason. I'm not saying they should, but if the Celtics do not win the NBA championship this season, there's going to be some changes. No question about that. Again, go down and subscribe to the channel. If you are all about the Boston Celtics, you have come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button below.